Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. This is probably one of the most important videos you're going to watch this year. Did that get you? I hope it did. No, it is really important information. If you want to understand anything about diesel injectors, diesel injector parts and diesel injector seating washer, the materials they're made from, what it is, what it needs to be, and all the dramas people have when they use, you got to be careful. Again, I keep saying you got to be careful. Some people have got a problem with me saying you got to be careful where you get your parts from. Well, I can't say it any clearer. You do have to be careful where you get your parts from, okay? So I just want to say, this is not a, so what we do, we get all the old injectors back, do a free contamination check a lot of things, a lot of R&D. Just a quick mention for Jaden L from Kununurra. I haven't done your contamination check yet, but I just want to let you know your injectors, whatever I haven't looked you up yet, whatever your previous set of injectors that were replaced, yes, replaced, yes, you got shafted. You got, in my opinion anyway, because you know I don't like remanufactured of any sort, only brand new genuine. Just so you know what your injectors are, they are definitely 2 remanufactured and 2 were new at the time when they were replaced last time, which I'll give you the dates as well just quickly. Oh, they're old as anything anyway. No, oh, looks like only 2 injectors were replaced because the old ones are, let me have a look. Oh, the old ones are 2007 manufacture. Let me check the other one. Yeah, no, there's 2 that are manufactured in 2007 and the other 2 are reman, unless, yeah, no, definitely, oh, that could be actually, just looking at it in case all 4 are reman. Anyway, that's not what this is about. I just wanted to mention that, dude, because, yes, definitely at least 2 reman, that's what I think it is, and the others were very old. So I suspect 2 were replaced. Yeah, they've got different colour caps. I'm just looking at them now. They're over here, you know, they're just here, you know, I'm just looking at them. So what it's about, what this is about is the seats. You got shafted on the seats as well. They are brass seats. Now, this is how confusing it is. I'll tell you which one's yours. I've got a number of them over here. I don't even want to touch the things at the moment. All right, I'll slide yours over. Here we go. I'll get them in the picture as well. There's your other one. And there's your other one. And there's your other one. All right, now, we can learn a lot from these washers. And you can try and figure it out or whatever, or you can just listen to what I'm telling you because I've been doing this for years. We originally discovered the brass washers under those Bailey's injectors back in, I think it was 2016 or something like that. This is not about Bailey's injectors or Bailey's injector problems or bloody brass washers they supplied under their injectors. This is about brass washers in general. This is just a general thing. Let's be clear. You've got to be careful where you get your stuff from. Now, I want to say quickly, these seating washers under the injectors, they need to be copper for this application. There's some applications where they're brass. Brass is intrinsically harder. It's quite obvious, it's rock hard. It's like alloy. Part of brass is, I think it's a mix of alloy and copper, right? It's really like rock hard. Now let's just move these out of the picture again. I just wanted to point out that, see those 3? Those are the same as that one. So this is yours, Jaden. So let's get these out of the way so to not confuse things. Now, who can tell me, looking at those, which ones are brass and which ones are copper? Okay, I'll give you 20 seconds. How does Eddie do it? I don't know. Anyway, write down your answers, mate. You got top left, you got middle, you got top right, you got bottom left, and you got bottom right. Write down your answers. Which ones are, you know, lock it in, get it in your head, lock it in. You can cheat if you like, we don't care. Okay, you can see here, that's got yellow, right? But you couldn't see the yellow when they were new because they had a silver coating. See the coating here, right? What I'm going to do, I'm just going to momentarily, the problem is the lighting situation here. I'm going to just chuck a bit of a, I've got too much light, I've got a skylight here. I'll try and, when I shade that light somehow, there you go. That's how I want it to look for you, right? Like, kind of like that. So have a good look at those. Right? Because this is your natural light. Anyway. This one, when it's new, it's silver. It's not black, it's not yellow, it's silver. So it looks kind of just like this one, right? Now this one, when it's new, it looks like copper. So you think, although Toyota revised to these with a coating over the top, there's nothing really wrong with the original copper ones, okay? If they're copper. They last well, they work well. The reason they leak is when they haven't been changed for 150 or 200,000 Ks, right? By the book, they're meant to be changed every 40,000. Now, I'm not saying follow my information. Don't just start making assumptions from what I'm saying now. I'm not saying to change it every 40,000. I say you do the injector job and you don't let anyone in there, okay? I know how long the seats last. I know how long the valve clearances are okay when they need to be checked. And we know how long the injector... And it all comes together, and that's our recommended information. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, search our channel. Stop listening to other people. You've got to choose who you want to listen to. You choose to listen to them or you want to listen to me. If you want to listen to me, search my channel, injector information. How long do injectors last? Injector seats. Watch the videos till the end. Because look, I talk like this. It's called information. I'm explaining this to you now to help you understand why you need to do this. Okay, next one. So here, you thought that was, you know that's brass because you can see the yellow, right? You can see the yellow in the middle, right? This one, if it was but if it was new, you would have thought it was something else because it's silver, like this one, right? So you wouldn't have known. Tricked, top left, tricked, okay? You might think you know, but you would have been tricked. This one here, look at it. It's obviously copper, right? You can see it's got a copper color, but see the yellow on the inside, similar to this one. Once they're in an engine and wearing, that's one of yours, Jaden. Remember, just saying, you know, it doesn't matter whose they are. These are other cars, and we've got heaps there. We've got a gazillion, Mark. I can tip these out. You know what I mean? We've got thousands of them. Anyway. Let's move over to this one. This one looks pretty convincing that it's copper as well, but again, it had that silver. There's a bit of silver left. What happens? That coating that erodes away on the inside, and then they go black. I'll tell you something, right? Generally, the brass ones that are made to look like copper or made to look silver, either of these two, generally go black on the outside, right? Now these ones that are brass that have got the one coating, these generally don't go black, but all three of those are brass. They're rock hard, okay? This is how we do our little test. It's just our little DIY test. We don't run around, send them away for testing, whatever. I'll show you what I've done, right? First thing is, mate, you can hit that with a hammer. You can hit it with anything you like. I can hit it, you know, you can bang away all you like at that, right? It's going to go fine, but it's not going to turn into copper. It's brass. It's rock hard. Now, the problem with brass is, as I've explained before, it's too hard to squash and flex and seal and take up those surface imperfections, which is what a gasket is designed to do, right? The imperfection between the end of these nozzles, right? There it is, right? The end of that, and the head, in the head, right? If it's nice and clean and flat, good. If the injector, the cap nut on the injector is nice and clean and flat, good. You know, some people probably put them together with no gaskets. Yeah, we've heard of that before. We've heard double gaskets. Anyway, these are gaskets, seal seats, washers, bloody sheets, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to call them seats because that's the seat the injector sits on, okay? You can call the seat in the head is a seat as well, and that's wrong. I don't give a stuff about what you want to argue about. I'm telling you what it is. That's the seat. It goes in the head. The injector sits on that. Now, how do we know these ones? I'll tell you, these two are copper. These are the two copper ones, right? So yeah, no, not those two, these two. So this is the way it works, right? These will be genuine, okay? Back many years ago when these started coming out, you know, I think around 03, but 05 in Australia, the 1KDs with the common rail, they've always used copper gaskets, right? No problem. Down the track, they went, oh, you know, they were trying to get them to last longer. I'm not too sure why they changed them really, because there wasn't a big problem with these. The problem is more so when they're not changed or the wrong people have worked on it. They take them out, they don't clean things. They're single use only. These suckers are single use. They don't clamp them down and then take them out and put them back again. Single use only. And I'm going to give you the tip, 22 Newton meters. It works. Don't just make it up. This is the problem. You've got to be careful where you go, because some people just think you just grab tools and yank on them. Too tight, it bends, it flexes the injector, it messes with the internal tolerances. You don't want them too tight, it can break bolts, it can break clamps. You don't want them too loose, because then you get the opposite problem, right? You know, this might not seat properly. It's got to be spot on. 22 works, right? I guarantee it, it works. If everything's clean, 22 with a quality torque wrench, it works. Okay, so these three are brass, these three are copper. Did I say the right thing? Because I always get this wrong. If earlier in the video I said it wrong, I apologize. I'm going to get it right this time. Brass, 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 copper, copper, 100%. You can see it for yourself, right? I'll show you one of the best tests we do. We put it in our Dawn vise. We've got an old Dawn vise. It's got some really nasty teeth on it. And we put these three in there, and we crank the vise really hard, and it hardly left a mark in it. Here, I actually bashed the edge of this one with a corner of the pliers because it's got a bit of a sharp edge on it, right on the corner there. It puts some marks in it, but it hardly put a mark in it. I did that with these. Oh, mate, it put marks in them with the copper. The best test that I can quickly do in 10 seconds, I pop them in the vise. I put all 5 of these in the vise. I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, right? There's some. These 3, I cranked them really hard. I hung off the vise handle, didn't leave a mark, okay? This one, I only had to go gently on the handle, kind of like 2 fingers, you know, gave it a bit of pressure, don't get me wrong, you can clearly see. Well, I don't know if I'll turn it over, maybe you can see this one was leaking, had a bit of blow by, but either side of it, and I'll fix up the camera for you. This one's actually really good, you know. These are not alloy, they are copper, they've got a coating over them. You can see the teeth of the vise in that one. I'll fix up that light again, I'll bring my little shade thing over for you, and I'll try and get the light right so that you can see what I'm talking about. I hope you can see that, it's bloody 4K video, I'm zoomed right in. See, it's going out of focus now. I hope you can see what I mean. If you can't, you just have to trust me, because I know what I'm talking about. Now, and I'm sure most of you do, but you know, there's people that want to argue and carry on or whatever, and good luck to them, mate. Everybody needs to just go work it out. If you don't agree, you need to go work it out, because this is what it is. This is the fact. It's right in front of you. We've got the evidence here. We've done the test. So I just wanted to show you how confusing it is for someone. You go out there to buy parts, you could be, it's like, are they tricking you on purpose? It's like the remanufactured ones that are in, you know, same boxes as new ones and stuff like that. Like, is that got to be done that way? Couldn't you just have new ones in those boxes and remanufactured in those boxes? Why has it got to be, they've all got to be in there? It's like a trick. It seems that way. I know it's not, of course not. I wouldn't accuse anyone of that, but it just seems that way to me. But obviously I'm silly. Same with this. Why would you make a brass washer and put a copper colour coating over it? That sounds like a trick again. I must be an idiot, mate. You know, because I think they're trying to trick me, but they wouldn't do that, would they? And here, you know, they're obviously old, but I'd rather use those than any of those because I know they work. I've seen them. You know, most cases with these washers, right, on averages, on most cars, on most sets we've seen, not less from, okay, when they come from factory, they haven't been messed with, anything from 160 is the lowest I've seen those start leaking, through to about, even last 230, right, without being touched. Now, when you get ones under that, that's when people have had them out and they've put them back in, maybe with the same washers. Maybe they haven't used the torque spec. Maybe they did put new washers. Maybe they didn't clean the ports. There's a number of things. Clean, correct parts, single use only, correct torque specification. If you do that, they last ages. Obviously, if Toyota improve them, but you know, you brought a Toyota, you trusted Toyota as far as that goes. Trust them as far as if they make improvements, right? Give them something, would you? Right? If they put a coating on it, then it's because it's going to last a bit longer. What have we seen generally? It's hard to find one of these leaking under 200,000 Ks from factory. I'm talking factory. When you buy a vehicle that you don't know the history if they've been out, don't expect it's factory and been untouched, because the specification to service these correctly, these injector seats, injector washers, valve clearance checks, every 40,000 kilometers, the correct procedure is to remove the injectors, right? Remove them and check the valve clearances. That's including removing the injectors, replacing these seats. Not bend the pipes, risk contamination, pull the dirty valve cover off, all the dirt falls into the injectors, and check the valve clearances and then slap it all back together over tight and crack the valve cover with all the dirt falling in the injectors and whatever. No, that's not the job. And that's how a lot of them do it, okay? It needs to be clean, especially if it's going back together. But what I'm saying is the risk of contamination is way too high by doing that job. You need to leave the thing alone, leave the genuine parts from factory in there. Based on what we've seen, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do, I'm going to tell you what we've seen. The lowest I've ever seen one of these leaking that I believe was factory was 138,000 Ks, right? So it is as low as that. But the vehicle did lots of shorter trips, it did a lot of towing as well, right? You're going to get the odd one that lasts a bit less, right? So that's why you check your oil pickup. It's your free check. You don't know what I'm talking about? Search my channel for blocked oil pickup, checking oil pickup, cleaning oil pickup, removing something to clean the oil pickup, all that sort of stuff. If you can't find it, I'll do it. That's what I'm doing now. I've done this, I'm doing it again. Hopefully I've done it better this time. I can't explain it any more clearly than that. Copper, nice and soft, and it seals. It's a gasket. These are your gaskets. These things here, you might as well just throw them in the bin and put the injector straight on the head, because you're going to get about the same result. Now that's an exaggeration. They're going to be better than nothing, but the problem is, okay, if everything's flat, if the head's flat and the surface is good, and the injector's nice and flat and square, then one of these is going to work. And I can see why they do it. It could be to save money because brass is cheaper than copper. It could be to save money. It could be because they go, well, you know, these rode away and leaks, so let's be the engineers, we're better than Toyota. Well, I don't think so, but I get you thinking, right? You know, I can think like that too. You want something that's hard, that's going to last and not erode away. I've got another set of injectors over here I'm pulling apart. Talking about erode away, I'm going to try and pick one out, not out of the tub, off the bench now. Not really any there. Oh yeah, no, these are pretty good actually. Let me bring one of these dirty ones over. When I say erode away, bring this filthy one over. Right, I'm stripping injectors down, doing free contamination checks. Thanks to the people that returned their red caps, their crow's foot, their dowel, and any bubble wrap so we can reuse it. We're not into waste, and as I mentioned in the last video, please stop littering. Put your rubbish in the bin, including your dirty old mask, gloves, and any papers you've used to clean anything. We don't need to turn the place into more of a pigsty. It's bad enough already. Clean up your act. Now, back to this. See how they erode away in the middle? That's what the copper does. But that, I haven't looked that one up yet. Let me go and have a quick read. I've got a love letter there. Hang on. Oh no, there's not a love letter with this one. These are Ben T's. I will look it up and we'll do another video in the VIP group anyway, talking more about these particular injectors and what we have or haven't found. No news is good news, guys. If you don't hear from me about you know, you don't have to say how did they go. They all went fine. If they didn't go fine, you'll hear from me. They're the ones I'll be on the blower saying, hey, you know what? You've got, you know, contamination. You need to get that tank out in case there's water in there and clean it out, right? Because you don't want to spend thousands and then, you know, find out that later. So send your injectors back. Red caps. If you don't send the red caps back, that means other VIPs, other people making a purchase, they have to go find their own because we haven't got any because you didn't send them back. Anyway, see how they erode away? That's probably why they thought brass would be good. If you look at all these, there's no erosion on the brass. Just the color, the color's coming off, but there's no erosion. So I'll agree, brass is good for that. Right, copper, it erodes away slowly, slowly erodes away. And these, they get worse. They come out in a bit of an oval shape, and you start. But you know what? This is at 200,000 or 300,000 k's that happens. I've actually seen them over 400,000 k's. I don't want to say this, but too late. I just said. I'll get that out of the picture. Right, I've seen them over 400,000 k's, injectors never been out, and these suckers not leaking. Now, I'm not saying to try it, but probably long highway k's type driving. Anyway, guys, I've gone on long enough. I hope you get it. Really important information. Give us a thumbs up if you got something out of that. And don't forget to subscribe. Turn that bell on so you don't miss the really important next bit of information coming along. And whatever you want in the comments, I am flat out, but I'm still making time for you to give you the info. Thanks for watching. See you guys.